How does Brooks maintain his cool? How do you not lose it when you're in front of the city council, and whether it was Cotton or one of the other city council members kind of going at you, things are really tense, wanting to, with the intention, you could feel it sometimes, to just kind of shut you down.
We're here today to publicly object to the vacation of South Garden Avenue to the adjoining property owner, an action the city is not obligated to approve. I see you as a stopgap, the guardians standing between our community and the monopolization of downtown Clearwater by the Church of Scientology.
Yeah, and I was actually so stunned to see the harsh reaction from both Ryan Cotton and Mike Menino.
Here's my question to you is, when Mr. Gibbs approached you about his proposal, can you just explain to me how it was proposed to you? Yeah, and I'm not trying to put you under the gun, Mr. Williams. I just want to know exactly how it was proposed to you from your standpoint and recollection.
If I've manipulated you in any way to be a part of this project.
I'm asking Mr. Williams, not you. Is what I'm asking, Mr. Williams. I'm asking Mr. Williams, not Mr. Gibbs.
They were making it rough on you, weren't they? Weren't they throwing some accusations at you about what your real motives were and things like that? That sounded ugly.
To question our hearts and our intentions, I don't understand.
It has been incredible from my perspective to see the strongest attacks against you coming from elected leaders in the city of Clearwater who also claim to be Christian and don't have any obvious ties to Scientology, but would rather tear down someone in the community.
Reconnect Clearwater has no prior relationship with our community, yet they're now reportedly attempting to bribe the African American community. I'm just reading. Just let me finish. Do you mind if I?
Please
I'm
do.
not trying to offend you or anyone else. Again,
Please do.
by asking for official support for their proposal in exchange for getting support from multiple millionaires to help fund other projects in North Greenwood and beyond. Is that?
Can you tell me who said that?
I don't necessarily think that's
Well, if you
important.
say-
I'm just that.
If you say if you read her quote,
Please.
Lena Morrison, is that who said it?
Lena Morrison.
No, sir. I've never bribed
Gotcha.
millions of
That's
dollars
fair.
to
So
Africa. I will answer because it was quite a scandalous accusation. I have not bribed anyone, certainly not.
And when you see elected leadership acting like this, boy, does it create an appearance of impropriety between Scientology and a few of the elected officials. And it's just terrible, terrible PR for Clearwater, Florida.
What I am questioning is how something was presented to the African American community, and if they may or may not have misinterpreted or misheard something. Because I do not want...
Folks.
Because I do not want our African American community to be misrepresented.
Exploited. Nor would
And
I.
I would
Nor
be
would I.
remiss if I didn't say it.
Yes, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for making your concerns known. I'm not a guy you should be concerned about to do such a thing. I'm a man of integrity. I'm a man of God. I answer in fear of God more than anything else. My ambition is to do what's right. I'm putting things together. The people believe this is right.
And I've seen a kind of arrogance and nastiness out of Ryan and Mike that are kind of surprising to me. I never really saw any of that when I was on the council.
Hi there, I'm Brooks Gibbs, a Clearwater resident, and I'm here to announce an exciting citizen initiative to protect our downtown streets. But before I do, let me explain why our downtown streets need to be protected.
The Church of Scientology is trying to buy a portion of a street in downtown Clearwater. They're trying to buy it from the city.
There's a potential deal on the table, but not all council members are agreeing with the terms.
Whether to sell a segment of road in downtown to the Church of Scientology.
Things did get heated at times over whether or not the city should sell a specific street to the church.
Now, this proposal has received some strong pushback from residents.
This is the center of very heated debate. Some feel that the presence of the Church of Scientology in downtown downtown Clearwater is already too much.
They have over $1 billion worth of property holdings. They own 75% of the land here in downtown Clearwater. It doesn't seem like they want to invite us in. It definitely appears by their actions to push us out.
And now, with this stretch of South Garden Ave up for sale by the city, the church is looking to buy it, close it down to the public, and add an auditorium and park.
And in response, there's a group of Clearwater residents that have come together and submitted their own proposal to buy that street instead.
A new group called Reconnect Clearwater pushed back and instead offered up a different proposal. Organizers wanted a memorial garden there to honor the city's African American history.
This is what democracy looks like.
If the city decides to not sell the street at all, we would still accomplish our vision of preventing Scientology from advancing one more square inch. On May 12, 2025, a Scientology representative named Sarah Heller stood before Clearwater City Council and pitched their plans for South Garden Avenue. Scientology, who for decades has done their deals behind closed doors, finally came into the sunshine and spoke publicly for the first time in 50 years. Why? Well, because Council member David Albritton insisted that they explain their plan publicly or he'd vote no to their request. So they reluctantly came out into the sunshine. And in that city council work session, it would be Church of Scientology versus us, Save the Garden.
And for the first time, we had the governmental relations and community affairs director of the Church of Scientology in your city hall that we've been begging for how many years? We've been begging for it, and now it's here. Do you need this road, and why?
Absolutely. The hall could not be built without this road. The hall and the park are one project. It is going to be an architectural masterpiece.
You did tell me that you own 200 properties, and I see this as an important step forward in trying to allow city staff to work with your staff to try and revitalize and make our downtown.
But when it was our turn to speak on behalf of the desires of Clearwater citizens, well, they mocked us, they criticized us, they treated our citizen-led effort with hostility and disdain, and they tried to trap us with false claims and baseless character assassinations. Can this be voted on? Let me just ask you, since you're the one that brought it up, can this be voted on?
I will not be bringing this up for a formal vote.
For anyone watching, the bias was so painfully obvious. They told us that we had no business on that street, they dismissed the clear will of the people, and it left us wondering why. In fact, to this day, that is the #1 question we get asked all the time. Why would these two elected officials, Mike Menino and Ryan Cotton, why would they bend over backwards to help an organization that has done so much damage to Clearwater's downtown economy?
You know, Ryan Cotton has rightfully taken a lot of heat, but it's like, Ryan, man, you got to understand, nobody can figure out why you are so emotionally invested in David Miscavige getting his way. And why is it that a few people who win an election and end up on the city council always seem to be, when it comes to these things, at odds with what is so obvious to everyone, the common citizens of Clearwater, Florida? And you go, no, Ryan, and no one believes that you just don't understand. No one believes that you're just this gullible. No one believes that. It looks like corruption. It looks like shady dealings.
So what's really going on? Many of us wondered what is being promised to these two council members behind closed doors. And it's hard to speculate, but I will say this. When Scientology asked for that street, these two council members almost gave it to them. But the citizens pushed back, and we prevailed. After Sarah Heller's weak presentation, David Albritton, the third vote Scientology needed, well, he withdrew his support.
Moreover, my stance on the sale of the public street has shifted as I reflected on what was promised compared to what was actually has been revealed. Thursday night, I will vote against the sale of Garden Avenue and adopting Ordinance 9812-25.
And just like that, Scientology withdrew their request.
Plans to build this massive performing arts center, this is in Clearwater, by the Church of Scientology are now on hold. The church withdrew its application less than 24 hours before Clearwater City Council members were set to vote on the controversial land deal today.
The letter states the church is pulling their application after, quote, recent discussions to essentially add further explanation for the need to purchase the Garden Avenue property, including for, quote, safety concerns. The letter goes on to state that the church also wants to look further into the title of the property.
But they did not go quietly. Oh no, Scientology worked their power brokers and was able to solicit the attention of the highest legal authority in Florida, Attorney General James Uthmeyer, who fired off a warning letter to Mayor Bruce Rector, threatening him, suggesting that he was on the verge of religious discrimination for daring to say publicly,
Folks, I don't remember what the exact number of parcels is that they have purchased over the last 7 to 10 years, but I think they've grown their footprint enough in downtown Clearwater. And
on top of that, Scientology's attorney fired off his own letter, and he told the city it was illegal to ask Scientology to activate their empty downtown properties before approving the vacation of South Garden Avenue as proof of being a good community partner. Which is super odd because this entire process started a year and a half ago by David Miscavige, the leader of Scientology, promising to revitalize Scientology's stretch of buildings on Cleveland Street in exchange for being able to purchase 3 city properties. And that included South Garden Avenue.
We've got to also step back. The video that we all saw when we met with David Miscavige, and we had the city manager there and their staff members, originally they were asking for 3 properties, right? They were asking for Garden, they were asking for the fire station, and for the Osceola lot. But from an aspect of trying to stay engaged, I would see the trade-offs happening. Activate downtown with Garden Avenue. And then if they want the fire station, well, we're not even going to talk about the fire station until we see the active, vibrant downtown that we want. But if you've got that going, sure, you're showing that you're being a good neighbor, as was said on a recent podcast.
Then came the most outrageous claim of all. Scientology's lawyer said that they already own South Garden Avenue because of a 100-year-old plat change that happened in 1922. He told the city that the city has no right to actually sell the street, only to vacate it and give it to them when asked to do so. And they made it very clear: vacate or give up the street or prepare for a lawsuit because that street's ours. But Mayor Bruce Rector did not cave.
I am not going to let a property owner intimidate me by waiving that letter and tried to intimidate me into approaching my role as a city council member differently just because they're threatening us with a letter from the Attorney General and potential action or whatever. I'm not going to be intimidated by a property owner.
And for that, Clearwater owes our mayor a big thank you. So what do you think is next for Scientology? Likely more pressure, more lawsuits, more coercion, which means we need a bigger plan. Something bigger than South Garden Avenue. Save the Garden is pleased to announce a citizen-led petition which will change our city ordinance and remove from our city council the power to vacate streets in the downtown Clearwater core district. If we get enough signatures in time to put the ordinance change on the ballot, and if you vote to make this change, any future street vacation in downtown Clearwater would require a public vote. That means if Scientology wanted South Garden Avenue, it wouldn't be decided by 5 council members. It would be decided by you, the voters. Imagine that. No backroom deals, no political games, just the people deciding. To do this, we need 10,000 signatures from Clearwater registered voters, and our initiative will show up on the next ballot. Not online signatures, but actually handwritten ones, ink on paper. It's not going to be easy. It's going to take all hands on deck. And if you want to sign this petition, or if you want to volunteer to help us get more signatures, visit savethegarden.org. Downtown Clearwater belongs to the people. It's time to ensure we get to keep what is still ours. I'm Brooks Gibbs, and on behalf of Save the Garden, thank you for standing with us.